This is our home. How do we create all of this within a space that is also a living space?
It looks like a typical sitting room, a typical kitchen, a typical bedroom, a typical shed, if you like, at the end. And then with a few sleight of hand, all the kind of bits of equipment come together. My name's Ben Hardy. I'm a music producer and audiovisual artist. And together with my partner, Zahara, we are Strange Pill.
I'm a multidisciplinary artist, I guess that's the answer to it. I do collage, I'm audiovisual artist, new media, and anything necessary, really. Our focus has always been on the beauty of seeing the musician, the character, the moment.
We've done loop-based and we've done full-length pieces.
Where the audience can create their own music by using it as a launch pad that triggers the visuals of each of the musicians, and then you are making music as you trigger them.
We did something called Astral Music Projections, which was it was an extension of our loop-based sampling platform. This is basically a holographic installation which allows the audience to tap on the different touch screens, and there'll be a full-size holographic drummer, full-size guitarist, vocalist, and bass player. And then you'll tap somewhere and the guitarist will suddenly become a harp player. The drummer will suddenly become, well, it would be a beatboxer. And it all happens in real time. And so we spoke to the people who had that technology, who had done that, and they loved our idea. And so we had to get a warehouse. And that was our next challenge, getting a warehouse to film it all in. And we spoke to this guy who liked our work, who gave us the keys to his warehouse, and it was about to be demolished. And so we quickly built a recording studio and a stage and a workspace there. And then we filmed loads of different musicians very quickly performing.
We had the opportunity, Ben explained, that of recording great number of musicians and turn them into holograms. That turned into a mashable holographic interactive installation.
It was 60 holograms in 2 weeks. Yeah, we had very little time, and it was very great fun, but quite a challenge.
We started in 2009. Exploring this idea of music as collage and bringing, therefore, the narratives of music to the foreground of the music experience.
We originally we filmed our own band, got funding from the Arts Council to film our band in different places, performing drums going down a barge in Camden, guitars going down a 100-year-old train in Spain, and vocals on a mountain and stuff. And you could touch these, see and hear the musicians performing individually. Anna Wilson from Barbican saw our piece, and she said, "Would you like to do that with the New York Philharmonic?" And we said, "Yeah, it'd be great fun." So we flew out there, and we did it this time with GoPros. It was really kind of, and we had iPads, and it was a kind of really DIY project, but it worked well, worked down really well. And Zahara found a place on East Side, wasn't it? Where they had different booths, tiny little booths like that, and we could record up to 6 musicians at the same time. And we did it using GoPros. We had to start everything. We use it remotely with iPads and hoping it was all going to work. We had only 3 days to do it in, and if anything went wrong, which it did, we were in trouble. And it was -15, freezing cold, and we filmed the musicians in this space and realised that there was a real cohesion. There was something different about the recording processes which we had done. They were interacting with each other. There was a warmth, there was an excitement about it.
We challenged the New York Philharmonic by turning them into not just one organism, but individuals that are creating together to become an organism. And I think it's it's an interesting experiment for any band that hasn't tried to do that.
And we just thought, wow, imagine if we could actually do this in real time instead of having to edit afterwards with post-production, cutting audio, mixing it all. And so it was the beginnings of a long-term goal. Our official name is the Mashroom Group, if you like, for our sort of projects. And we are now sitting in Mashroom Studios.
When you have spent so many years actually recording outside, very much field recording, but of guitars and vocals, then it got to a point where we just really wanted to just record an album normally, without having to keep thinking so much about the visuals, to be able to actually record sound, but then the visuals to get captured without you really, for it to be completely intuitive. This is our home, okay? So this is the starting point. How do we create all of this within a space that is also a living space?
It's somewhere where you feel home. That's the idea. It's like a typical sitting room, a typical kitchen, a typical bedroom, a typical shed, if you like, at the end. And then with a few sort of sleight of hand, all the kind of bits of equipment come together. For example, here this desk hides the 32-track mixing console, and this screen is normally when it's in its sort of sleeping position, it goes down and it just looks like a desk. And this is a bookshelf to my left, which opens up to show one of the screens. And everything is hidden away, but then it opens up and it's this warm recording environment. And we're creating a bridge which, first of all, it allows people to go into all the different rooms, feel like they're all together in the same room, have really good sound, have amazing sound quality.
Each one of them has a monitor where every artist can see all of the other rooms and all of the other artists performing. And it's quite extraordinary because it really feels like you are working in the same space.
The musicians can perform, hear and see each other in real time. There's microphones with speakers in all the rooms, so they just talk. And in a very short amount of time, everyone feels like they're in the same room.
This kind of recordings allows you to have one-track recording because of the isolation of the rooms between each other. You are actually capturing the moment of the recording, which I personally think that is got a character of its own, which you lose if you are only capturing the sound.
A lot of people love recording live, but what happens is they'll do that mistake in that recording, and then they'll do another one and it'll be great, but they can never recreate that moment. And with this space, this is just one of the things elements which we love about it, is that you can create it. If someone makes a mistake, all the video and audio and feeds are separate, so then they can re-record their take, and you've got this. You might just keep the drums, but it's something which you listen to recordings which have been done live, recordings which have been done one at a time. You can get great both, you can, but with recording live, sometimes you get something special, and sometimes a jam can actually sound, it becomes the actual proper recording. We spoke to various leading audio and video companies, and Martin from Synthax Audio was quite literally the best. He was amazing. He was really interested in the project. He spoke to us about it in depth and asked us exactly what we needed, what we wanted, why, and liked the project. He was really keen on the idea. And so we started experimenting with different gear, but the RME gear was or has become a staple. Quite literally, it's saved us. It's meant we can do what we want to do, which is it's basically all the audio is sent through MADI, which is optical. It's immediate, zero latency pretty much, and it's incredibly reliable, what we're using. So we're using the RME, it's a MADIface XT, Octamics. We're using 4 Octamics, and we're using the 12 mic, which is, it's basically got 12 inputs, and they're at the front, which we use in our live room. So it's a fantastic space for changing all the different inputs at speed when we need to. You turn on the machines and everything works. It's that simple. And the sound quality, you can change everything remotely. You can set up the inputs remotely, the levels and everything like that really easily, and it just works. And the sound quality is quite simply amazing. Really, really good. It was a game changer for us. And the floor level, it was, it allowed us to make a lot more and a lot less noise, a lot less hiss. And it's just, you hear the sound, but it's got such a big dynamic range, and it's so clear that there was no looking back after we used it. It was, and its reliability, it was fantastic. The more you learn with TotalMix, the more you realise it's brilliant. It's really useful. It's a patch bay. You can add effects. You can send effects. You can adjust everything within just this screen here. And it's got effects. It's got all the parameters that you need. You can save all the presets. And it's a massive desk in one. And you can use it remotely. It's really helped our workflow, especially with the multiple inputs having to be on the ball all the time. We use it for setting up all the headphone outputs. We can send out different effects, all the different levels, all the different feeds and everything like that. It's been amazing. It's been really good for that, yeah. The Ferrofish converters, they were a great recommendation from Synthax Audio UK, and we wanted a really cost-effective solution for having lots of inputs in the control room space, sitting room space here. It wanted something which worked with MADI, and the Ferrofish converter has 16 inputs. It's very easy to use. It's got a great interface, and we needed to mix very quickly on the fly, send out because we had a for example, we had a horn section here. We had to send them out to the different rooms so we could patch them really easily. We had all the different mics connected, and it worked really well. It was really reliable, and the sound is great. Fantastic sound. Again, zero latency because it's using MADI, but very easy to learn how to use, and it's a great little device. The idea is that we're going to create this ecosystem which people can record their music, and it will become a space where people can experiment, people can perform live together and create proper quality recordings. We can then put them online, and they will be interactive. People will be able to remix them if they want, but they can listen to all the different performers on their own. Be a bit like, imagine being able to go back to Abbey Road or something like that, and you can get information about all the artists, about the recording methods if you want.
We are also working on this audiovisual platform that enables things like this to turn into interactive videos. So that's why, in a way, we call it our octopus project, because it's got many, many legs.
Yes, slowly creating a platform which allows us to incorporate long pieces of music and loop-based music, so people can mix together audio-visually these pieces and create a new music platform. You
enter such a relationship when you work with musicians. It's really nice. It feels like family, even if it's just for a moment and then you don't see again for a long time. So anyway, we're just very much looking forward to getting these people to come and record and have amazing experiences.